Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha, and here on this YouTube channel, I love to deliver healing messages through tarot. Hello, my soul family. Hello, my soul tribe. I hope this message reaches you and you're well. And if you're not well, I hope this message or whatever gives you 1, 2, 3, or even 4 seconds of peace, because in a world where our brains is always going crazy and the world is attacking us, 1 second of peace is very important to have. Drink my water. All right, so today's pick a card topic, cognitive distortions. This is one that definitely hits home for me as I continue my therapeutic journey and I start adding more tools to my tool belt when it comes to like my mental health. I don't know, it just, when you're going through something, especially when you have mental health issues, when you're going through it and you're in the thick of it, whether you're having a depressive episode or emotional flashback, whether you're having a trigger, whatever your choice is of trauma and trauma responses. So to go through that, and then to sit down in therapy, and then to tell my therapist, hey, blah, blah, blah happened to me this week. And for her to like take her knowledge and what's happening to me and say, listen, this is how you deal with those thoughts. This is how you deal with those bad days. This is what's happening to your brain when A, B, and C is happening. That has given me so much relief, and I've added so much tools, and understanding cognitive distortions is a tool that I've definitely added to my belt. Like, these are my personal cards that I've used and I've printed out. So cognitive distortion is the way that our brain can get stuck in loops and thinking patterns. There are maybe 10 to 12 cognitive distortions. And the way they work is sometimes our past has coded in our brain and in our body, and it causes us to perceive an incident or something that's happened to us through the lens of the coding from our childhood and how we grew up through the trauma versus what actually might be happening. And some of the cognitive distortions, like black and white thinking, some of them are self-blaming. I have a list here. All or nothing, catastrophizing, minimizing the positive, and they all kind of blend together, and we use them, and they're constantly firing all day long. So what I wanted to do with this reading was, there a cognitive distortion that maybe needed or wanted to grab your attention today, to look into it, to see how did it get there, where did it come from? Of course, childhood, or what part of your childhood or upbringing gave you this programming? How is it affecting you now and like future, like going forward? Do you want to heal it? Do you want to heal it? What happens if it's healed? What happens if you continue to ignore the distortion? So these are like just some of the notes that I've written down. I hope I gave you a good example of cognitive distortions. My Mercury's in Pisces, and sometimes I see things in pictures and it's hard for me to get it out. Ugh. It's hard for me to get it out. But just think, your brain is a computer. There's subconscious programming that's running in the background. Sometimes we're not aware of it. When we do become aware of it, we get to challenge it, and then we get to change the narrative, and we get to challenge the distortion. And let's see if we can challenge some of your distortions today. So we have 3 piles for you, and you can choose the vial here, or you can choose the card. It's up to you. Let's start with pile 1. And this is rosebuds. Rosebuds. This is pile number 2, and this is rose quartz. There you go, girl. All right, and this is pile number 3, and this is Forget-Me-Not Flowers. These go in my burning bowl. Okay. All right. So the way Pick a Card works is you would choose which one calls to you. The description would be timestamped down below. Pause the video. There's no right or wrong answer. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be none. Some of them do get a little heavy, so make sure you're like in a good mindset, especially when we're digging through painful stuff of the past. And I will see you at voting. Hello, pile number 1. If you were drawn to, yes. So if you were drawn to this image or the rosebuds, then this is your pile. All right, so the cognitive distortion that came out for you is emotional reasoning. And I didn't mention this in the intro, but I actually used these cards. Like I made these for myself. So I actually like use these cards like whenever I need to challenge what I'm feeling or thinking, and things aren't matching up. So I actually like use them. Like these are my all bent up ones. And then these are the ones for that I think are a little bit prettier. But anyway, emotional reasoning. All right, we believe that what we feel. There's an ant, but I'm trying not to throw him out. All right, emotional reasoning. We believe that what we feel must be automatically true. You believe that the way you feel is a reflection of reality. If we feel stupid and boring, then we must be stupid and boring. You assume that your unhealthy emotions reflect the way things really are. So, emotional reasoning. Okay, pile number 1. So, just emotional reasoning. We believe that what we feel must be true. So I'm getting right off the bat that you have very strong, intense emotions. And I'm not talking about like when someone's like, oh, they're so emotional, or I'm talking about like intense emotion. Like if I have to relate this to trauma stuff, I'm saying like you get like emotional flashbacks. Like your body will take you back in time when the event happened, and you can conjure and feel all the emotions from the event taking place. And because your body is snapping you back to that time, it feels real. See, like people know PTSD flashbacks, and maybe in movies it's shown as like, oh, you go back to like the event where it happened. And that happens too, like maybe you can see it in your mind's eye and you have bad dreams. But when it's trapped inside your body goes back to that time that it happened, even though you're staring at, I don't know, something right now. So say when you were younger, you got bit by a snake, right? And you got bit by a snake and you got poisoned and it was painful. You had to go to the hospital. It was like this whole big thing. And now you have like this big fear of snakes. And every time you see a snake, you get so scared, even if it's like on the television, because your brain remembers that, it's trying to keep you safe, and your body is taking you back to that time that it actually happened. So you have this fear of the snakes, but it feels real even though it's not real. It's on the television. So that's like kind of what's happening with your emotions. And I'm going to give you a little grace, and I'm also going to tell you it's with the little ones is with the big ones too. They feel very real and very heavy and very prominent. So in your past card, we have the Ace of Moons. And in this deck, this is the Ace of Cups and it's in reverse. And this is your past part because I want to take a look into like your history to see like how did we get here. And we have Samaritan. So refined your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore is the light one. And a shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. I'm going to pull just one more card from this deck in the past part. Because okay, so in your household, when you were growing up, it feels like you were emotionally relied on for a parent. Like you took the emotional weight of another parent. So, sorry, things come to me like pictures and stuff. So, this could be or can be a situation like, say your mother, your dad was like in and out of jail, and your mother was having like a very emotional time. Your household also feels very emotional. Like maybe your mother was like very emotional, and it like really took a toll on her. She was like very sad or depressed or very lonely, and then she kind of like leaned on you, and you kind of became responsible for like your mother's emotions. Like there was no like whoever. It maybe wasn't your mother. Like maybe it was you had like a sibling that you grew up in a household, and you had like a sibling, and maybe they had like explosive temper, or they got in like a lot of trouble, and your parents had to spend like a lot of time, or maybe they were sick. Someone in the household like needed the emotional. Someone in the household had like was like this emotional vortex where like they like sucked up all the stuff in the household, including yours. So there was no. It's sad. Like there was no. It was nothing left to pour into your cup. Like you poured in. You had to like pour into someone else's cup, and there was no one like pour into your cup. Like it was empty. Like it feels so empty. It feels so empty. It feels so unseen. It feels invisible. It feels just like uncared for, and you feel like a very emotional person who probably had all these feelings that was like boiling up, and when you're young you don't know what to do with it, and the only thing you knew how to do was survive, was to keep pouring into whoever the emotional cup, the emotional vortex in the house, whoever the emotional vortex was in the household. I'm sorry, Pawan. It feels so lonely. It feels so lonely. I just saw like someone like just like sticking like the SpongeBob episode with the nematodes when they come and they like suck his house dry. Like I feel like just like extracting you, extracting from you, extracting from you, extracting from you. And then like you can't tell their emotions from your own. You suck up the emotional weight of everyone in the entire household. But nobody was pouring back into you. Or so that's how it feels. So transition to now. We have Ace of Feathers. In this deck, that's the Ace of Wands in reverse. So lack of motivation, lack of creativity. Okay, the household. So how do we transition from this to this, right? It didn't stop when you were a child, it continued. So that's how it started in the child, it continued. They continue to extract from you. They continue to extract from you. It feels like a very toxic family structure. It felt like a toxic family structure. All right, emotional reason. We believe that what we feel must be true. So if you feel stupid and boring, then we must be stupid and boring. It feels like a toxic family structure. A lot of swords here. So you're fighting with emotions. These people are fighting with intellect. So maybe they kept you down. Maybe they extracted like stuff from you. Like every time you tried to like do something or express yourself, or I don't know, maybe you had a new project at school and they just kept pushing you down, pushing you down, pushing you down, pushing you down, pushing you down. Extracting from you, extracting from you, extracting from you. Like you did something good, but someone had to do something better. Like they had to beat you down. Maybe it was the scapegoat child. It continues now. You know it. Honesty here. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So right now, I feel like there's a lack of motivation from you. Like there's a lack of motivation, there's a lack of energy, and it's because you're being like emotionally sucked dry. And maybe you have like all these emotional explosive like episodes, and then your family points. So these people, it's family. This is family, and then your family like points to you and they say, "Oh, see, look, you're irrational. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're this, you're that." And meanwhile, they've been beating you down. So the core belief, whatever your family structure is, because they're using words, right? The core belief that you have about yourself from that family structure, it's going to be different for a lot of people. So the core belief that you have about yourself that you've gotten from your family structure, like you have to challenge it. It must be challenged because this is the distortion. It's been created since childhood and it's been built in adulthood, and now it's literally clouding how you view yourself and maybe how you view the family structure. If you're the scapegoat child, then maybe you saw things that wasn't right and you called things out, and they literally beat you down with words into believing to the family structure. Or maybe on your way exiting out of it, but there's still this distortion that you carry with it. I just feel like with this Ace of, basically this Ace of Wands is your fire, and it's out. Your fire feels out. And it's not because you're lazy. So I hope that's, if your family told you that, tell them to go F off. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're stupid. It's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's not because you're dumb. All the terrible things that toxic family tell you, it's not because of that. It's because you've been sucked dry. And you don't have no energy for yourself. And you got to put the stuff back into yourself. You've been emptying out your cup. Your fire's been dim out. And you have to give it back to yourself. There's a core belief here. Smash it. Challenge it. All right. Let's get into these self-forgiveness cards, right? All right, I forgive myself for ignoring the signs life has shared with me simply because I did not approve of the truth they supported. I choose to believe that when I accept and integrate the signs life offers with daring curiosity, I may swiftly be moved to the people and places that are most helpful. Second one, I forgive myself for staying in places I no longer belong due to fear of what may happen should I admit I want more. I choose to believe that I'm constantly expanding into my infinite potential, and change is an inevitable side effect that allows me to flow into spaces more suitable for me. Pile number one, what you emotionally feel is a gift, right? The way you can absorb and transmute emotions is a gift. You got the Mirror card here. Who or what is triggering you? And you have the Transformation card here. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. If you don't challenge this distortion, and this is not inevitable, if you don't challenge this distortion, you will continue to project people what they're doing. You will continue to project that onto them, and they're going to continue to bounce it back to you, and you're going to believe every negative thing that they don't want to believe by themselves, and you're going to continue to absorb it into yourself as your own identity. It feels like more than just it. The pattern feels like it started in childhood, it continued to grow in family, and then like you'll continue to attract these people into your life until you challenge this deep distorted belief that you have by yourself. Also, you have to challenge your emotions too. But if you challenge this distortion, if you choose to fill back your own cup up, transformation, things are changing at a cellular level. You take those emotions, you take the pain which you that happened to you, the hurt that happened to you, and you transform it and you transmute it and you grow from it. For staying in places I no longer belong due to the fear of what may happen should I admit I want more. Your fire is not dead. It's just being drained dry. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, Power One, that's what I see for you. I would would look up emotional reasoning, and I would look up ways to challenge distortions. I have it pinned here. Hold on. Sexy time. I have a little here record sheet, basically a journal prompt, and it is the situation and the trigger, your feelings, right? 1 to 100%. I have a motion wheel. Oh, you can't see it, right? Unhelpful thoughts and images, facts that support unhelpful thoughts, facts that provide evidence against unhelpful thoughts, alternative realistic, because when you're feeling something in distortion, like, oh, I'm stupid, oh, I'm dumb, like most of the time it's just something bad that's going on in your head, and no one else is feeling that way about you. And so you're like, why do you think you're dumb? Oh, you know what I did? I pressed this button wrong instead of this one. That doesn't make you dumb. It just makes you human. Sometimes you press the wrong buttons. You can go, oh, well, sometimes I do press the wrong buttons. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on myself, right? And then the outcome is like, maybe then you're softer and your emotions come down and you change it for the day. But you have to challenge your emotions. Is just, they need to be challenged. They need to be challenged. They're just, I know they feel intense, and it's a body thing. I'm not saying it's easy, especially if you've been through trauma, especially if you've been through a nasty family bond where your family just emotionally beat you down and left you feeling like nothing because they was just draining you. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's also not impossible. It's also not impossible. Look at emotions as just signals. If something is trying to tell you, something is deeper. All right, Pile 1, that's what I see for you. Look up the sheet, because I find this very helpful. Sometimes I'll be going through it, and then I go through the boom, 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 but I'm like, wait a minute. I'm allowed to feel that. Okay, take care. Thanks. Hello, Pile number 2. If you were attracted to the rose quartz, I'm going to put that right here, or you were attracted to this card right here, then this pile is for you. And before I flip this card over, I'm going to be completely honest. This is my second time recording this pile, and I recorded the intro initially and pile number 1, and then I got to this pile and I started recording, and I just felt like I wasn't doing it justice. And when I tapped into this, your energy, it made me go back and rethink and redo the entire reading. So thank you for that. Sometimes my ideas are a little broad and I have to like narrow it down a little bit. And Gemini season is the best season to do that, right? To get all the small kind of details. So tapping into your energy made me narrow it down a little bit better and get a clearer reading. So thank you for that. But before I even turn this over, I'm already getting the feeling that you are someone who's, I want to say well aware, or definitely someone who knows and is very conscious of cognitive distortions. There's something about maybe you had like years in therapy, or maybe like you're a therapist yourself, but there's something about your energy that feels very knowledgeable. Like when I flip this card over, like I feel like you're not even going to really be that surprised. Like you're going like, this is, I know this is definitely my cognitive distortion. So it's something about your energy that I can feel that you're definitely been on this journey. Like you've been on this journey. Like this kind of talk and therapeutic deep dive is not new to you. So let's flip, with that being said, let's flip your card over, and your card is self-blaming, right? This cognitive distortion leads you to believe that you're responsible for events that are in reality completely or partially out of your control. Often results in you feeling guilty or assigning blame without contemplating all factors involved. right? And the example that I gave is just like blaming yourself for like the traffic when you're late. Self-blame. Like I said, I feel like this cognitive distortion and this coming out is like no shock or surprise for you. You're very aware, of this tendency for self-blaming, and I feel like you're on the path to correcting it. But I wanted to talk about a particular way in which it shows up for you, and a sneaky way, and it's a sneaky way. It's a sneaky way that this comes out for you, and I gotta tell a story just so we can get an example. So your self-blaming is, or this one that we're pointing, this version of it that we're bringing some light and attention to, this version comes out as it comes out as responsibility. It comes out as a responsibility. And the example I'm getting in the sneaky way that it shows up, so say you are a younger sibling watching, you're an older sibling watching a younger sibling, and your younger sibling is riding on a tricycle, and they're riding around, and you're like, don't go so fast, don't go so fast, don't go so fast. And then they fall and they scrape their knee, right? Now, you wouldn't outright go, it's my fault they fell. You wouldn't outright go, oh, you wouldn't blame yourself and say, they fell because of me. I'm the reason to make them fall and hurt themselves, right? Your brain wouldn't outright say that. They tripped, they fell off the tricycle. The way the distortion would work, and why it's called distortion, the way it would work and how you would self-blame would be on the responsible end. So it's like the back end of that. So it's like, all right, so I'm not blaming myself for them falling, because them falling is an act that they did, but I was supposed to be in charge of watching them. I should have been monitoring them better. I should have anticipated that they were going to fall, and now this is my fault. I was responsible. And that's the way your self-blaming is showing up. This kind of way that you feel responsible for the things, and most importantly, because this Three of Pentacles card came up, the people around you in your life, your job. So there's this heavy amount of responsibility that is the distortion of self-blame. I'm getting someone is interested in that story, like taking care of the sibling would come up, because I'm getting someone like who was a parentified child. Like that story didn't just pop up for no reason. So I am getting the story of a parentified child. I'm getting the childhood or the history of someone who didn't get to be a child, who had to take on adult tasks and responsibilities, whether it be physically, emotionally. Like I'm getting a parentified, very serious, very deep, respectful child who had to like play the role of like second parent, who had to, I hear like, I'm hearing like this second in command in the household. So maybe you were like an older sibling and you had to take care of your sibling, or maybe you had to take care of your parent. I'm getting images, yeah, maybe I had to take care of a parent. I'm getting images of people who parents just wasn't mature enough, or definitely emotionally immature, and like you as a kid had to step up and start to take care of things. Maybe you had a sick parent, maybe you had a sick sibling. But there's a parentification of you growing up and not being able to, I don't know, be a child in a way that most, in a way that they tell you like childhood is supposed to be in it. and left this heavy burden of responsibility on you. Like you feel responsible for everyone, everything, and everyone around you. It also shows up in a sense of like holding on to control. What we have here, Messiah, servicing humanity with humility, shadow, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And then we have child divine, innocence, purity, and redemption, suggesting a special connection with the divine. Shadow, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. I'm going to pull some more cards. I'm going to look more into the past. So we have this Three of Pentacles in reverse, representing the past. Like I said, I feel like there's just like unfair amount of burden that was put on you like as a child. That's a lot of pressure for a young developing brain. Trapped. Okay, trapped. Trapped. Overgiving. Alright, so you felt you were forced to overgive. Your family kind of took from you. They kind of trapped you and they took from you. And they kind of took advantage of this responsibility that you had. The wound of belief is that your value when you're helping, when you're sacrificing, when you're giving, when you're doing for others. My needs go in the back burner. My needs aren't, you start to learn my needs aren't really that important. Like, it's everyone else has to come before me. Like, everyone else has to be taken care of. It's my job to take care of everyone else. My needs go on the back burner. My needs aren't important, but your needs are important. That's the belief. It's so distorted. It's so intertwined. So the belief is like, I'm only worthy, I'm only seen, I'm only allowed to be like a human when I'm sacrificing myself and giving to others. It's terrible, but it's like what your brain kind of learned. Overgiving yourself, overextending yourself. But not because like you want to, it's because of this self-blame, because of this responsibility you feel to it. Where are we at now then? What is these self-forgiveness cards for? Thinking that when things don't go the way I had intended, the world is working against me. I choose to believe that every unexpected outcome has a message that invites me to broaden my perspective and find clarity that allows me to maximize my effort. So, like I said, I have a strong case of feeling that you're working on this. You're someone who's very aware of this. I feel like you've been picking apart and going through your childhood, going through therapy, doing the healing work, doing the upgrading, doing the spiritual stuff, doing the therapy stuff, understanding the dynamics. I feel like you're someone very much on that path, right? You have the 10 of Cups here in your future, in the present card. We have acceptance. I learned to accept the things that I cannot change. I'm gonna pull one more card for the future, because I haven't. For the future, that fell out. For the present. And then I'm trying to enter relationship dynamics for this one. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting this message to come out. Present. There's an opportunity coming to you. There's an opportunity coming to you. There's an opportunity coming to you for the result of going back and like doing this work. All right, I want one more card for this opportunity. One more card for this opportunity. All right, overgiving. Okay, there's a new opportunity that's coming for you that does not require you to overgive, to be in sacrifice. See, I thought the present moment was going to be, especially with this, for thinking that it means anything about me at all should one of my loved one experience a challenge. I choose to believe that it's safe to trust those I care for to grow resilient through the experience of difficulty so that they may realize their strength. I thought your present was going to be like, oh, like not to feel so responsible for your friends, but that's not what's coming up here. There's an opportunity here. There's a message here about an opportunity that's coming up for you. One where you're not overgiving. You're not overextending. The future card is the Empress. There's an opportunity that's coming for you where you're going to be able to flex this muscle that your past built, like you didn't go through or had the childhood that you had for no reason. So there's an opportunity and something that's being offered to you that's going to come up. It's going to be presented to you. It's going to be like an opportunity, like a new beginning. And this could be anything. I want to say it's financial. You have the Ace of Pentacles here. I don't want to say it's a job. Like I said, it could be anything, but something earthly is going to be presented to you. So it's not like a new thought idea. It doesn't feel like a new love. It's an opportunity for you to be able to utilize what happened to you and how you healed it. And it's an opportunity where it's not going to require you to overgive. I'm a strong believer in things working like cyclical, and whether it's your past life or your childhood, and we come down here and we reincarnate, and nothing is coincidence, and we end up in the families that we ended up in, and we ended up in the situation that we ended up in for reasons that are probably so far out of our control, or far of our understanding. Sorry, let me correct that. Not control, far of our understanding. So stuff that happened to you and the work that you put in is not going to present you to take all that and use it. And whether you're building some kind of platform, whether somebody's coming to your life who's been through what you've been through, and now you're offering this wisdom to them, but you're going to get the opportunity, because this kind of caring for people and being responsible doesn't leave you. It never really leaves you. It's a part of who you are. It's not getting rid of it that you have to do. It's like, how do I do this in a healthy way where I'm not stressed I'm not feeling the shame and the guilt. Sorry, I'm not blaming myself. I'm not feeling responsible for other human beings, and I'm not being like someone else's superhero to like boost my shit. Turnaround, future, Empress. There's a group. I don't know if you're starting a family or want to start a family. I'm not sure if you want to be a teacher or if you want to be like a therapist or a content creator, or if you want to be an advocate, if you want to start a nonprofit. There's something where you turn this to experience and the things that you went through. There's something where you turn it into learning and healing, and there's others that follow you, or there's others that listen to you, and your words reach out and they heal, and it heals them. And you do it in a way where you're not overgiving, where you're not drowning, where you're not self-sacrificing, where you're not draining yourself to give to others. Like, continue doing the work, but the opportunity is coming to you for you to be able to grasp this and do this in a very healthy way. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, and Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundation, divine plan. Nice, pile number 2. Messiah and child divine. Ooh, I didn't see this coming out. Those are the best ones. Yeah, congratulations on your endeavor and what you choose to do next. It's coming. It's being presented for you. If like I said, it feels like you've done the work. I tapped into it. You changed my entire reading. Like, you gave it more depth, just me tapping into your energy. Well, that's all I see for you. Thank you for choosing my channel, clicking on my channel. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I truly effing appreciate it, and I hope to see you again. Hello, pile number 3. If you were drawn to the Forget-Me-Nots or this card here, then this is the pile for you. So let's see what your distortion is. All right. You got always being right. We are continuing on trial to prove that our opinions and actions are correct. Being wrong is unthinkable, and we will go to any length to demonstrate our rightness. Being right trumps everything else, including evidence and other people's feelings. For example, I don't care how badly arguing with me makes you feel. I'm going to win this argument no matter what, because I am right. All right, pile 3. This one feels a little bit heavy, so please walk with me, or sit with me, or take this journey with me. I want to look into the past. I'm going to pull a couple of things here just to help me get a picture of the past. And I'm just going to pull one of these. Virgo. Okay. I'm getting visions of you growing up in a house or a family dynamic where you're just not believed. So I want this to be a little bit of a trigger warning, please. I'm going to give a little bit of a trigger warning, but I have to say what I'm seeing. But definitely trigger warning to anyone who's going through something. But Please, if you're trigger warning right now, if you don't want to get into like any heavy topics and you're not in the mindset for it, just click off of it because we're about to get to like a heavy topic. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so I'm getting like in a household where maybe somebody was inappropriately touched and maybe they went to go tell an adult figure or a responsible party and they were not believed. And it didn't have to be maybe someone in the household touching you. It could be a cousin. It could anybody. It just feels like someone was not believed for something that went to them, even though they told an adult, an authority figure, and they were not believed. Yeah, I'm getting like a very tight, strict, I'm getting a very tight, strict, very image conscious family. I'm getting a family like, I don't know, maybe the son and the daughter of a pastor, and then like someone and you know, they're very conscious like how they look in the community, or like like the son and the daughter like of a judge or a police officer, or someone who's like a prominent figure, someone, or maybe they don't have to have those titles, those are just examples, but someone who was visible. Whatever your parents did, you were also visible, and your actions throughout whatever reflected back into your parents' action. If this happened to you, then there were things that they were going to have to face about whatever. And I'm so sorry about it. They didn't believe you. They didn't believe you. And then I see someone as a result of this who kind of like maybe even rebelled against the family. You got the destroyer and the shapeshifter here. So I'm seeing a story of someone who like rebelled against the family, and then now you've been labeled like maybe the problem child, or the difficult one, or the bad seed, or the black sheep. Meanwhile, like you're carrying this deep family secret, and no one is given like the compassion to you or for it. I'm so sorry. And it don't have to even be sexual trauma. It could be like maybe your dad cheated on your mom, or your mom cheated on your dad, and you witnessed it and you saw it, or maybe your mom hit your dad. It's something with this big, deep family thing that you witnessed that basically nitpicks or at the foundational, at your family's foundation, and you hold this big secret, and I don't know, because you knew, because they knew you knew, they had to beat you down and kind of destroy you and make you seem like you didn't know what you were talking about. Whew, that's some heavy shit, pal. Number 3, I ain't gonna lie. That's some heavy shit. That's why I told everyone, if you wasn't ready for it to click off, I'm not mad at you. So we come to present. And something happens to you, and I don't know, maybe people think you're an asshole, maybe they think you're self-centered or narcissistic, because it comes to present day and somebody brings up something, or you bring up something, and you explain your side of the story. And as soon as you feel like you're not being believed, it's an automatic distortion, right? It takes you back to not being believed in your family system, and it feels almost like breathing. Like the reaction is just like blinking your eyes, breathing, sneezing, coughing. And I feel like you feel it inside your whole body. So when you're talking to someone and they're like, hey man, even down to the smallest little things, like sound, that's how you know The distortion is so fucking powerful because it comes down to the smallest little things. Someone's like, "Hey, the score for the game last night was 0 to 5," and you were like, "No, it was 0 to 4," and it was like, "No, it's 0 to 5," and now you're going over the top like, "It was 0 to 4. I remember. Pull out your phone right now." You give this over like reaction, but what happens is that like your body, the people don't know, like your body is going back to like not being believed and the weight of carrying that big family thing and not being believed. Let's see. Let's see relationship dynamics. Ooh, everybody's on trial. Everybody's on trial. What they say is on trial, it can and it will be used against you. Everything's on trial. Yes, you are right. You are right. You are the judge. You are the jury. You are the executor. You are right. People are on trial. You are stubborn with it. All right, let's see some of the self-sabotaging patterns. Current. Okay, I knew it was gonna come out. I had a feeling that was gonna come out. Okay, palm 3. This one's deep. This one's deep. This one's deep. This one's deep. I'm still here. I'm trying to break down how it's sabotaging yourself. It's a feeling of never letting people really get close to you. It's a feeling of never letting people really get close to you. There's a distrust you have in humans. There's like, you don't have belief. You lost your faith in people. You lost your faith in good people. You lost your faith in good people. That's why everybody's on trial, on court. That's why everyone, your executor, judge, and jury, you've lost your faith in good people. That people can be good and be good to you. So you're always being right is definitely a defense coping mechanism, but it keeps the people at arm's length so then they don't hurt you. And they're never good enough to be able to get past like your barriers and your walls. And that's how you want it. Even though you might say you don't want it, but it's how you, it's subconsciously what you're doing in the self-sabotaging ways. It's how you, yeah. You've lost your faith. And listen, if something happened to me and then I went to a trusted source when I was younger and no one believed me and then it got turned around on me and I was walking around with this heavy ass fucking secret, I might not want to F with people either. So I definitely respect that and I 100% understand. Absolutely. But this is a healing channel. And we're looking at distortions that need to change. So what happens if you continue to go down this path where you can't put your faith in people? You always have to like be right as this defense mechanism. What happens? Oh, that was fast. I feel like this kind of came out. Okay. I just want to see. You become the cranky old man in the tower. Or the cranky old man who shoos off the kids off his lawn. You become a lonely... You become like a lonely... You can become... This is not definite, but like... You become like this isolated person, like really never letting people get close. All the people cards are like in reverse. The cards where people sit up and they stand alone. You think this is going to give you an emotional fulfillment, and you think it's going to make you stronger, but it's not. This distortion has to be challenged. It's holding you back. It's keeping you from real, genuine, authentic, true relationships. And we people are relationship creatures. And the cycle is never going to stop. Like, I wonder what cycle you are on, actually. We could take a look at that, too, to see the cycle, how this keeps cycling around. Like, especially with you keeping people arm's length. Like, does it get to a point where you meet someone, you like them, and then you put them on trial, and then you just let them leave, or they never feel good enough? Yeah, I don't feel like it's something. I don't feel like you're breaking up with people or kicking them out of your life. I feel like they're just getting they can't do it anymore. They can't be on trial. Like, they can't always be wrong. Like they're everything's up for question. You examine every little thing. Everything's up for question. Everything's up for debate. Like, you examine every little thing. Like, if you was dating someone and they came home late and they was like, oh yeah, no, I got here because me and Patty was talking. You're like, well, Patty, you never really talked to Patty. You shouldn't take 20 minutes. Like, if you come down Carson and move around a corner, that takes only 15. It's like they're always on trial, and that gets exhausted, and they can't do it. They can't be on trial no more. And then you go, all right, I know. I never believed in you, that you wouldn't hurt me. I wouldn't believe in people. But it's not you that giving up. It's distortion in the way that you're trying to control. The way that you always have to be right. The way that you put people on trial. And you need to be right because the child inside of you is saying this, look at me, look at me, look at me. I am right. I'm telling the truth. Believe me, believe me, believe me. But the people who love you, they believe you now. Look at yourself forgiveness cards, pop 3. I forgive myself for ignoring the signs life has shared with me simply because I did not approve of the truth they supported. I choose to believe that when I accept and integrate the signs life offers without daring curiosity, I may swiftly be moved to people and places that are most helpful. Look at this service. I feel good when I help others. This distrust is heavy. This distrust of people is an ick. It's an ick. I feel it. You have like an ick of people. Like, look at that person. They not. It's an ick. And I don't know if it's coming from like your childhood self is this, or your teenage self is just like disgusted with humanity. But there's an ick of people when it comes to people. I can feel it. I forgive myself for being more compassionate with others than I have been with myself. I choose to believe that when I consciously practice accepting myself without judgment, I discover an even deeper compassion that I may share with others. About 3, I want to leave you with something else. So let's clear this out a little bit. I want to leave you with something else. Because what you have is very deep rooted. It's not something that's fixed overnight. I'm so sorry. It's so heavy. But I think it starts with like one argument at a time, like you decided not to have. One thing you must prove that you are correct. Like you decide, like, you know what, I don't need to prove that. I don't know. Let's try this one. This is just the first one I grabbed. This might be too like pop arty of a deck, but maybe it'll lighten up the mood a little bit. I just want to pull like one extra one from these. This is the Noctioptical Oracle. Yeah, it's no easy thing because this one is an egg for humanity. I understand it. Find your soul tribe. Find your soul tribe. I like that. Sinister Sisters. I like that one. Let's see. Okay, here, listen to this. Are you being downright sinister sister to someone in your life right now and feeling a bit nasty towards someone? Feel like you're feeling a bit nasty towards a lot of someone's. Change those thoughts. If you don't, you'll create so much more darn drama that you need to create. You'll create so much darn drama that you need to create. So change the sinister into sacred. Are you hanging around the wrong crowd for you? Well, stop it. Join a different club and find new friends because these ones suck and not good for your soul. To belong to their group, do you need to wear makeup and dress in a certain way that's not your personal style? Sinister sister may display kindness towards you. Maybe you need to look deeper into the relationship. They are only friends with you because you make them feel better about themselves. Can you tell them that you don't like what they're wearing? All right. Creating heaven on earth is happening. Sinister sisters, find your soul tribe. There is a there's a group of people who believe what you, because your thoughts on, listen, your ick and your thoughts on humanity are not going to change, right? Whatever happened in your past for a reason, and you went through what you had to went through, and it gave you what it needed to give you right now. But like, how do we change this distortion that works with us? There's a group of people who think similar to you, but in a more healthier way. They're skeptics, right? So if you're meant to be like the old reclusive man, and you don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to stay in like circles where you're constantly like proving people wrong and putting them on trial. There's a group of people where you guys could put the world on trial all together. I don't know. Start a podcast. Start a YouTube channel. Have a conspiracy. This is getting very like excellent conspiracy theorist vibes. And I love a good conspiracy theory, so I will be tuning in. There's a group of people who don't believe in people as much as you don't believe in people, and then you can do it, and y'all can do it together. And this is how you create your heaven on earth. And then you can go back and forth with them, and they know the importance of putting things on trial and like being able to question those things constantly, and they don't take it some kind of way. And then you can kind of integrate it, and they understand the importance of what your nervous system needs by trying to be right and find out the truth. All right, Pile 3, that's what I see for you. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I hope that you allow me to do it again. I hope to see you again. And I don't know, enjoy your night, morning, evening, whenever this video finds you. And good luck. And I will hold a little bit of space and some deep breath for what you've been through, Pile 3. I'm truly sorry. And I hope that you allow me to read for you again.